trip that we went over there.
Okay, you sit for a minute, have a drink of water, do you need one?
Yep.
Are you ready to go?
Let's go ahead.
Okay. So I tried to put together a board that kind of highlighted some of the main things that maybe Norway is known for, and maybe if you are a crafter or a collector of sorts, you've maybe seen some of this stuff. But one of my absolute favorite places to go over there was the Hodland Glassworks. And it's a place where they still blow glass, all by hand, all original. There are a few pictures up here, and I think it's one of Mom's favorites too, because her goal was,
I forgot to put Joseph over there.
oh, gotta have Joseph. So this is her nativity scene from Hodland Glassworks, and did you,
Two separate
two
times.
separate times, and then you flew it back on your lap, didn't you, to make sure it was
I
safe?
didn't trust anybody with it.
Right,
so.
right. And how about show them the little Nissa?
Well,
Okay.
no, I'm gonna show them this first. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Wine glass, and that's the shape they started all of these as. So this happens to be Joseph that I've got by the head up here. And Mary, and the wise men, and one angel. And then baby Jesus is just like an egg in here.
He's an egg with a clear head. Is that yellow?
I don't know, probably. But, so, I got Mary and Joseph and Jesus at first. And the angel, and then, the wise men, the next trip over. So, no, you go ahead now.
Well, the other two she has down there on the far right end are
Oh, yeah.
also from the Hodland Glassworks. They're a very traditional thing to purchase there and put out for Christmas particularly. And you would see that on the next one over here. You'll see them set on the fancy table at the Granaker Vev, which is a weavery, but this is their Norwegian way of saying it. And this is a family-owned weaving company that has been in business since, oh gosh, the 1800s, and they still run it out of this little shop. And that was one of my favorite things to go and see. And I have 4 or 5 examples of things that were woven there. This one in particular, which was kind of interesting, was made for the King and Queen of Norway to have all their linens done for, I think it was their maybe 200th anniversary or something to that effect. And so, you know, with the glassworks and then the weaving, those are very big things in Norway. I'll skip that one for a second. The other really big thing that people recognize is rose malling. And Mom has several pieces of rose malling that she's either purchased along the way or they were given as gifts. And this is just a little sampling of some of the styles, because each county or area has its own style and look. So like if you know you're from Telemark, Norway, or your ancestors were, you can find that on there, and then you can say, oh, that's that pattern. Or you might pick up a plate and go, oh, that's the Hodland one, you know, because you recognize the pattern and how the artist put it together. So those are kind of, I think they were really highlights of mine, besides the pewter, which I'll let Mom talk about, and then the jewelry, I think, is also very special. One thing I'd like to add quick though is the people who live up here in the northern part of Norway, Sweden, and even into Russia are known as Sami. And does anyone know what the other name for Sami is? What they might be called? Here's a picture of what they look like. They're kind of known as Laplanders, but they don't like to be called Laplanders. They tend to have East Asian features. They typically have kind of square jaws. They kind of look a little bit like Eskimos, because they're from way, way up here, you know, close to the North Pole. And that's where the reindeer come from. They have reindeer all over up there, and you can see in some of these pictures that they always have to dress very warm because it's so cold where they live, and they have snow many months out of the year. One thing I thought was very interesting is that the women get to do the hunting. And so I bought this knife over there, and it's called a puco, puco. And they always have a tip that curves up just a little bit. And this one's on the smaller side, but this whole thing is handmade. You can tell it's stitched by hand, and then it says TR on the back. I think that's the guy who made it. But anyway, the women would wear it on their waistband.
And they would also skin the animals.
Oh yeah, they did it all.
Just like Native Americans did.
They'd skin the animals, they used the hides. You can even see where here she's wearing a hide of some sort, maybe as a skirt. You know, they didn't waste anything. But the knife and the Sami people are just so interesting to me because it seems like that is not what you think of when you think of a Norwegian person. You think, oh, blonde hair and blue eyes, or, you know, whatever. But you take a look at these pictures and you can kind of see it's their own indigenous people is what it is. They've been there many, many centuries. So I'm gonna let Mom take it again. Real quick, this one here, because I just stuck it up there because I didn't know if many of you had ever been there, but I think one of the greatest highlights of Norway in terms of not the environment, but if you're over there to look and be a tourist, is the fjords and the fells of Lofoten or any of the other fjords. This is all in and out and in and out. Mm-hmm. This is Lofoten, way up here. And if you come up and look, you'll see the scale of a house compared to these gigantic mountains. And the mountains are what are called fells. So the fjords are the little pieces of water that stream in and out, like fingers, and the fells are the mountains, and they're majestic, and you just...
And the mountain is how tall?
Oh, don't ask me that.
No, you know what the answer is.
I don't know.
As tall as the mountain is, that's as deep as the fjord is.
That's right,
So
okay.
if you see something really tall like that,
Just